So I was wondering if you could just kind of talk about what you thought of Chance's progress of last game and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I thought he played much better. There was something we talked about in the week. I think he was really disappointed about his performance at Utah, and he had a really good week of practice and preparation leading up to the game, and I think it showed for the most part. I think there's still some things that he can get better at and improve on, and obviously the last one was disappointing with putting the ball on the ground. But I thought he was much better, decisions as a whole, pretty efficient with the football. And he made some plays for us in the pass game. We were able to create some explosives, getting the ball down the field. And then as he's done, he did in the Utah game as well, he's been able to do some things with his feet when things break down and extend some plays. So, pleased at the progress, and then the improvement he made from game 1 to game 2. Definitely.
Why was Jack Coletto so successful on Saturday?
I don't know, Jack. He's a big physical guy, and I think you got to give some credit to the offensive line and the tight ends. Those guys did a nice job at the line of scrimmage, and Jack's 245 pounds, and we had some success with it early. We just kind of kept going back to it. I like Jack. He's a smart player, tough guy, and he kind of understands the situation. Getting his pads down and going to get it, and he did a nice job on Saturday.
Coach, how would you rank or slot Jermar in all the backs that you've coached over the years?
Oh, geez. I've been fortunate to be able to work with some pretty talented guys. At Colorado, we had Phil Lindsey, and he's doing some great things for the Broncos. And Jermar's up there for sure. I think he's a really talented player, and I think he's matured through the time that we've had him, he's had a great year so far. I think this last game, he was a little dinged up coming into the game. He didn't practice necessarily the whole week, and wasn't quite as sharp, particularly early in the game, as I think he would have liked to have been. But we're really excited about Jermar.
When you look at him day one to where he's at day 1 million or wherever we're at, where have you seen the most growth with him over the years? Where has he improved the most?
Well, I think when he was younger, he was always looking for the big play, and he took a lot of negative ones as a result. And I think as he's shown maturity, he's okay. Hey, they're not always going to be 70-yard touchdown runs. Sometimes I got to put my foot in the ground, get vertical, and the decision is to get 3 or 4 yards, but it's a positive play. And I think that's the area that he's matured in. And then I think he's grown in pass protection too, just his knowledge and understanding of our protection scheme and what defenses are doing and trying to attack us blitz wise. I think he's grown a lot in that area as well.
If and I don't know if this conversation's ever taken place, but if Jermar came to you and said, what do you think about me going to the NFL? What would you say?
I know that Coach Petrie and him and Coach Smith have, had those conversations, with him, he and his family. And I think he's got to look at his situation and ultimately make kind of the decision that he feels is right at the time. Selfishly, as the coordinator here, I'd love to have him, for, another year for sure. But I think that's something at the end of the season that he'll sit down and we'll talk through.
Based on your experience, like you said, you coach Lindsey, what do you think will let him be successful at the next level whenever he decides to go?
I think when you get to that level, a lot of it, is your ability to go in there, be a professional, learn the system, and show up every day and be a consistent guy. And I think that's what Phil was able to do. Is he was an undrafted, free agent, is get in there, worked his butt off to learn the system. And then he was a tough guy. He was always around. He was always healthy, and he was competing and doing that. And I think he'll be really successful at that level. And I think that the maturity that he's shown, working with Coach Petrie through the last 2-3 years has been there's been a ton of growth there. So I think he's got an awesome opportunity whenever that presents itself.
Back to Chance, does he have an arm like Jake?
I don't know if it's quite as strong as Jake's, but he was able to get the ball. I mean, he made some nice throws on some deeper ones there. That one he hit Tre'Shaun on, he let that thing fly. I think that was a 55, 60-yard ball, which was good to see. I think he'll only get stronger as he continues to work with our strength guys. So yeah, that was good to see.
With Tre'Shaun Harrison, how happy were you just to see him get out there and play a football game for the first time in a year and have a really big impact for you guys?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I was happy for him. It was, it's always frustrating when you get to work with him in a little bit of spring ball and then training camp, and you get to see some of those glimpses of what he can do. But you get him back out there, and I know he was excited to be back out and going. And it was awesome to see him make some of those plays, and hopefully that could continue.
Coach, with a new coordinator, how different will Arizona State's defense look to you this year than last year?
They're similar in some ways, coverage wise, but up front they're doing a lot less. Last year there was a lot of movement and blitzing, and this year it looks like they've kept it a little bit more simple and vanilla, but I think their guys, it allows their defensive players to play really fast, aggressive. Those guys are really sound and well coached in what they've done, and they've had a lot of success in the games that they've played. And so I think for us, it's going to be it's going to be really big this week, just like it is every week, I guess, but just our execution and attention to detail. Because they've done a nice job. They understand their scheme and they play really well within it.
Going back to Harrison, is there anything that he brings to the table that's different than the rest of you guys as receivers?
I think that the explosive play ability and his ability to get downfield, and not to say some of our other guys can't do that. It brings a little bit more length and height in some areas that some of the other guys that we have. But it was great to see him. I just think his ability to stretch the field showed up on Saturday, and hopefully that'll continue this weekend.
Had he shown a lot of that kind of in practice, and were you excited to get that on the field?
Yeah, no question. I think he showed it in the spring practices that we had. And then I think the other thing is the ability to take a short pass and turn it into a bigger gain. And hopefully we'll see some of that as well.
Tim, in regards to takeaways, there's still kind of a elusive deal for you guys. Are there drills you can do to finish takeaways? I guess it seemed like you were close on a few of them the other day and just couldn't quite finish them, I guess.
Jaydon, do we do any takeaway drills at all?
No, I know you do drills. I just wonder, is there anything you do to? I mean, I think there's drills to create them, but as far as getting the fumble on.
Yeah, we do all of those. We do city and country fumble, which is whether you're doing city means there's a lot of traffic around, how you get down on the ball, how you recover it in traffic. We do country fumble recovery where the ball's out in the open, how you scoop it up and then try to score. And so that's certainly all drills that we work on. We work on every phase of takeaways of the causing the fumble, the recovery of the fumble, the scooping up of the fumble and being able to run with it, and then where you go with it when you do recover it. When we intercept it, going up, attacking it at the ball at the highest point, and different types of ball drills of catching the interceptions, and then where you go once you do have the ball. All of that stuff is drilled, and so we just got to keep working on it, and it'll come. And it was great to see that we forced 2 fumbles. And we had 2 chances at interceptions. Nashawn had one on a slant, and Anjay had one on a tip pass. And we just weren't able to pull them in. And obviously, any one of those would have made a big impact. If we get all 4 of those, it's a completely different game. And that's the game of sport. You know what I mean? It's a game of inches, and we just got to keep working at it. And then they'll start coming.
Do you feel like you're better in that game this year than you were a year ago? in the takeaway game?
In the takeaway game? Well, I mean, the numbers may not be that much better. You know what I mean? But so no, I mean, obviously the numbers got to show up in game day. I mean, we're not working on it any less. We're probably working on it more. I think our guys are more aware of it. They just got to keep plugging away at it, and pretty soon the dam will break and they'll start showing up.
Do you think Saturday was the best job you guys have done this year at pressuring the quarterback and kind of creating those takeaway chances? Yeah,
well, certainly on the forced fumbles on the quarterback, having 2 of those on Saturday, we just, a lot of the time on those, 4 out of 5 times the defense recovers the ball because, the offensive linemen all got their backs to the quarterback. And so when the ball squirts loose like that, you got a great chance to get it. So those things were good. We got some sacks, we got some forced fumbles, some tip passes and stuff like that. So it was a better game for us from a pressure in the quarterback standpoint. And we got a couple of hits on him too, right after he released the ball. So that was good to see.
What do you think of that? What made you guys more explosive in that pass rush?
Guys winning and beating blocks. I mean, that's the biggest thing. 9 times out of 10, they got a guy that's there to block you. And, if you win on that, then you can get to the quarterback. And then some of it was, the one that Tre'Shaun forced, it was a, corner blitz, and they didn't have him accounted for in the protection scheme. So we were able to get him in there and get him unblocked on the quarterback.
You obviously didn't win the game Saturday, but did you feel like that was maybe your best defensive performance of the season?
Yeah, I think it ranks up there. And I thought we did a really good job on the run game, held them to, just over 100 yards. And 20 of those or so were, at the very end of the first half where, they were in long ways away. We were willing to give up a run. We just didn't want to give up a pass. And so, I thought from a run game standpoint, I thought it was our best and most consistent game all season long. We still got some work to do in our, pass defense. He still completed about a 70% clip of his passes in that game. And that's too high of a completion percentage to have a real winning football game.
So, Jaydon, kind of just following up on the same thing I was asking Tim. You guys never work on takeaways, do you, in practice? Not ever?
No, yeah, we work on it every single day. I've said it before. Our coaches always, are keeping that turnovers on our minds, and we're drilling it every single day. And when we work hard, and I think that we've created some opportunities and we haven't capitalized on them. So, that's not on coaches. It's not on, the coaches putting us in any drills, but that's on the players out there, and executing fully, because even when we're in positions to make certain plays, sometimes we don't make those plays, and that could be detrimental. So, like I said, that's on us. It's not on no coach, nobody else.
Is there ever anything to the idea that maybe you guys just try too hard to get takeaways, and maybe that's part of the reason they don't happen?
Nah, I don't know if you could try too hard to get takeaways, but like I said, it just comes down to either you make the play or you don't, and we put ourselves in positions to make the plays all the way up until the point until we have to make it, and we don't end up coming away with those plays. So, the only thing that you can do is learn from it, and then next time you get opportunities, capitalize on it.
Does it feel like in that sense, like the process is working? Like you guys get a couple strip sacks and you get a couple jumped routes, and like the process is good, but it's just a matter of the ball kind of bouncing your way a few times?
I would say as far as like Tibbs say, the results haven't shown in the numbers of takeaways. So I don't know if I would say the process. I would say that we definitely trust the process, and that the process is definitely putting us in the right direction and putting us in the places that we need to be. But once again, it's all on the players to, finish the play and actually create those takeaways, and not just put themselves, in positions to make the play, but actually make the play.
All right, everyone. Next up, Jermar Jefferson. When you're ready, please ask your first question.
Well, Jermar, how's your ankle feeling, and what's the likelihood you might play Saturday?
It's not too bad. I've been rehabbing every day. I rehab straight after the game, so I'm just waiting till Saturday and then waiting till Thursday or Saturday and see how I feel. So,
what was it like for you last week? Just have to sit out the entire week. What did you do?
I tried to stay in the football realm. Kept watching film. During the whole time watching film, stretching, making sure my body is right for the next game. Make sure I'm, ready to help my team win.
You just watched the game on TV on that Saturday night then, or?
Yeah, I did watch. I watched the game with my with me and my roommates.
Jermar, obviously, at some point you're going to have to think about whether you enter the draft and all that stuff. A, have you made that decision? And B, if not, what factors will you consider when you make that decision?
I haven't really been thinking about the next level right now. I've just been thinking about, the next game and the game we have now. I haven't really made a decision. I would just, have to wait until after the season and talk to, my parents.
Jermar, how frustrating were the last couple of weeks when, you probably felt like you were in a really good rhythm and then all at once you have to miss a bunch of practice and you miss a game and then you're injured. Just how kind of, I guess, demoralizing is that?
It is frustrating, but stuff like this happens to everybody in football. So you just got to, how to retaliate and get used to it, and how to respond to injuries and how you rehab for your injury, or rehab, and you just got to stay really in that football realm. Just stay focused on football and just making sure you're ready.
Hey, Jermar, I'm sure you saw a couple of weeks ago, Quiz had tweeted out a picture of Mount Rushmore and said that you have a place up there on the Oregon State Mount Rushmore. What did that mean to you to have one of the best in school history say something like that?
It means a lot to have one of those legends like Quiz talk about you like that in that way. Then just mention you in that whole group, Mount Rushmore. So I just think it's great to, to get feedback from. I still get feedback from him on what things I need to help with, or I talk to him here and there. So it's just great to have him around.
Yeah, I know you volunteered at his camp a couple summers ago. So you guys still kind of communicate every now and then, and he kind of gives you pointers here and there, it sounds like?
Yeah, give me pointers here and there. Him and his brother, James, I still talk to both of them. They still try to help me be a better person and how to be a leader on this team.
When you look at your stats and what you've been able to do over 3 years, it obviously puts you on that Mount Rushmore, at least in the consideration. Have you thought about your place among the all-time greats in school history, or do you look at those stats?
I don't really pay attention to stats. I just, pay attention to winning games week by week and, just loving the game of football. Really, I don't really pay attention to what accolades I get.
Sure would have been nice to have not be injured last year, though, and to have more games this year would have kind of helped your stat cause, though, huh?
Definitely would have helped if we had a full season this year.
Tyjon, you guys were obviously, you didn't have Bradford and you didn't have Champ on Saturday. Just how big of a, role did you guys feel that you needed to step up and kind of help replace those guys?
Obviously it was a lot of big shoes to be filled on Saturday, and my job was just to be ready whenever my number was called, just be ready and on go. And not just to only do my assignment, but execute it at all costs and to be able to help my team win. So that's what my initial mindset was going into that game.
Yeah, and you and Tre'Shaun obviously both had really big games. Just how satisfying was that against a good Stanford defense to be able to do that?
It was good because we're, all of us, not just us too, we're able to show our talents and be able to prove to these coaches, once they give us that opportunity that, we're ready, no matter how many guys is ahead of us, no matter who's behind us as well. We're ready to fill those shoes and do our assignment the way we were coached that week.
You guys obviously have a really deep group of good receivers. Just how competitive is it in practice, day in and day out?
I wouldn't say it's as competitive because in our receiver room we look at each other as brothers and not as just competing against each other trying to win that spot over, because we have a lot of good guys in that room who teach a lot of young guys and also teach those guys who have transferred, so to speak, like me. I learned from a lot of guys who have been here longer than me. But that room, when you see a lot of people doing their stuff and receiving those accolades that they are, it gives you that courage and excitement in you, because you could put yourself in those shoes, in those positions as your other teammates as well.
You mentioned the transfer thing. Obviously, you and Tre'Shaun both transferred here. Tristan transferred here. You guys have a lot of transfers on this roster. What was it that drew you to Corvallis?
What drew me to Corvallis is just the aspect of being able to hone in, lock in, and focus on my craft. And me making that move from the University of Nebraska to here was a big move. And, I just locked in, made sure that not only my physical health was good, but also my mental health, and just kept on going for whatever I was trying to reach for. And my goal is to play at the next level. So I didn't settle for less, and I have more time here, and it's a lot more improvement that I need to do on this team to be able to help this team, go to the next level and do a lot of other things and improve. So my move here was one of the best for me. So I'm just ready to go.
How difficult was it at first? And obviously you commit to Nebraska out of high school and your heart's probably set on that. And then all at once you're kind of changing course and making a really big just life move. Was it difficult to do that at first?
Difficult to like switch my decision and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough decision because, I was living in Las Vegas on basically my own. I didn't have my immediate family with me or my blood related family. So all my decisions that I made at the next level was based on me. And I had very good instincts of choosing the best fit for me. And it didn't go as well, honestly, when I was at Nebraska. But, I just felt like I could do more. And Oregon State and the coaches obviously are trying to give me more opportunities to be able to prove to them that, I could help this team and be one of those guys to be able to excel for this team.
When you have a game like you did on Saturday, does it feel like kind of all that work and all those decisions have paid off?
It just feels normal to me, honestly, because week in and day by day, I've just been ready to go. I've always had that excitement and that adrenaline going before games, and I was just always ready to go. And I still am to this day, no matter what position they put me in. You could put me as 2, 3, or 1, whatever it is. I'm always gonna, when I get that opportunity, no matter how many it is, I'm gonna give my 110% effort and be able to play for the brother next to me. That's what my biggest goal is for this team.
Hey, Tre'Shaun, and it had been over a year since you played a college football game on Saturday. Just how much fun was it to be back out there?
It was really fun, honestly. Just to be back out there with guys, not just in practice, but actually playing in the game I don't even know how to explain the feeling, honestly. It was just amazing to be back out there with my guys that I've been practicing with all this time.
And you get that first catch of the game. How much of a, relief was that? And what's kind of going through your head after you get that first play out of the way?
It just helped me get into the rhythm of the game. I appreciate the coaches for calling that play, helping me get going early. And it just helped me jumpstart to my game that I had.
Can you take me through what these last couple months have been like, just practicing day in and day out? Like, what's that grind been like, knowing that it's probably a slim chance that you might have gotten to play a game or two, and it was going to be a long time until you did?
I was motivated because at the end of the day, I got dreams and aspirations to play at the next level. So practicing is just one step, getting me one step closer to my goals. And if I would have went home and opted out this season, I wouldn't have got as much work. I wouldn't have been prepared to play in the game that I had this last week.
Is it hard to stay sharp when you don't have a game to look forward to?
No, because in my head, I'm practicing for myself and to get better each and every day that I go out there. because like I said, I have dreams and aspirations of going to play on to the next level. So I just think it's part of the process.
How many first team reps had you gotten leading up to Saturday?
I got quite a few. Just getting the timing right after practice with Chance, Nolan, and just getting that extra work, it helped a lot, even if I wasn't always running with the ones.
Yeah, what is that chemistry like with Chance? How much were you guys able to kind of work together during fall camp and kind of get used to his rhythm, I guess?
In fall camp, we're pretty much going every rep because we're the twos, and yeah, we were just getting that connection established. And I was going with Tristan too, so I felt like I had a pretty good connection with both guys. So whoever I got to play with, then we're gonna have good chemistry. But the more that it got closer to the time of me playing, me and Chance got even more work after practice and established that chemistry.
What was it about Oregon State that made it feel like this is going to be a good fit for you when you chose to leave Florida State?
It was close to home, so I have my family supporting me. It's a good place to just focus on yourself, focus on your craft, get better each and every day with your guys. And I don't feel like there's that many distractions out here, so I felt that it was the best place for me at the time.